bang, you wake up with excruciating lower back pain. And lower back, I mean right around your belt line, okay? As the day goes on, you feel better and you think, wow, I'm through this. This is gone, no problem. Next morning, you wake up, the same scenario happens. A quick anatomy lesson, and then we're gonna get started on what you can do to help yourself or if you should seek treatment. Okay, lower back here, we have the lumbar vertebra, and they all come down. This is called the sacrum, this is called the ilium. So the SI joint is here, and then we move up into the lower back. One of the things that people have a hard time with is they're lying down, they still feel okay, but when they go to get up, or called a transitional movement, now it's like, whoa, what happened? If you get up and you're having to lean very far forward, you're not wanting to put pressure here. You're not able or wanting to do this. Why? This is where the joints are. So if you're not able to stand up and start to put load-bearing weight over top of the joint, it's reasonable to say that the joint is now affected, and this is most likely a mechanical joint problem. So why does it improve during the day? Once everything starts to get loosened up, you are able to handle that load-bearing weight, but you fall back into the same cycle again. First of all, one of the easiest things you can look at is what's your occupation, how are you sitting, how are you standing. There's a bunch of different ergonomic things that you can do, but that doesn't help you today. What's gonna help you is to identify what's causing you to stay in the cycle. So once you get up and feel pretty good, maybe have a seat and then try to stand back up again and see if that starts to promote you feeling better or promote you feeling worse, right? So go through a couple different things and see if you can find what's bothering it. And then at the same time, let's try to make sure that your health status is good. So if the end of the day is really good, we could say, well, obviously there's nothing major happening right then because this person, this patient is able to do it. But something mechanically is going wrong to build inflammation in the day, and then the night happens and you get back into the cycle. So when you are home and you first get up and you feel like you can't stand at all, okay, why don't you go ahead before getting out of bed and do a very simple knee to chest, okay? See if that feels good. And you may even want to creep over to the side of the bed, I like this one, and let your leg come down. Because what that does is that starts to pull this back in extension. But the key part of this is none of this is weight bearing, right? So if I stand up and I'm in excruciating pain, I have my entire trunk weight here that's needing to be held by my low back, right? If I'm doing exercises lying on my back, non-weight bearing, it gives me an indication on how I feel. If you can't break this cycle, I really encourage you to get treated. Don't live on ibuprofen, don't live on Tylenol. Pain meds will only ever be a short term if you stay in this cycle over and over and over and over. So a couple quick tips for you there on how you can get started. If it doesn't help or you're not getting better, I encourage you to seek treatment, find out what's going on. Sometimes you may need an x-ray depending on what's happening. So you might want to dig a little bit deeper, but it's important to get on top of this before it becomes a bigger problem. So now that we summarized it, you've tried these, what did we actually do? We mobilized the joint in a non-weight bearing way. One of the worst things you can do if you're really sore and you're getting up like this and you can't move, it's very difficult for the spine. We are meant to be upright. If you look around, you're gonna see people with pretty bad posture. You see them like this and they're walking. Over time, that can become more and more problematic. So what we'd like to do is get your movement patterns down first before we get all that load-bearing weight on. If you get up, you do these stretches and you feel better, you're on your way quickly. Okay, I'm gonna take you to our special guest. Logan's gonna talk to you about some core strength. Every low back injury, whether it's herniated disc, a strain, a sprain, whether maybe you're trying to lose a bunch of weight and you're getting trimmed back up, everything boils down to how the lower back works in totality. I call it a tire tube. Don't think of the lower back just as two pillars right here. Think about it like an entire tire going all the way around, And wherever that tire gets pressure and moves, muscles have to respond, which then controls your posture. Logan's gonna walk through some hip flexor stuff, some core stuff that you can start doing right away, especially if you feel good, but you wanna ensure you keep a strong low back. Real quick tip. If you feel like this little weird instability, like your back is gonna give out on you, this is the key time to get ahead of it with the core muscles he'll show you.
So low back pain can be contributed to a lot of reasons, and one of the big ones is a weak core. And by core, it means everything around this area: your abdominals, your hip flexors, your low back, and your glutes. If you have any weaknesses in those chains, it could put an excess load on the lower back, causing pain. So what you want to do is train both the front and the back of your core to develop strength so you don't have any weaknesses. Another thing that could be contributing is extremely tight hamstrings. So you want to do some basic stretching as well. Anything will do. Trying to touch your toes, sticking your leg out like this. Anything basic just to get those hamstrings loosened up. So without further ado, let's get into the abdominal exercises. Let's start with the hip flexors. This is an at-home exercise that anyone can do, and it's adaptable to your specific strength level. Sit in an L-shaped position and proceed to lift your leg up as high as you can. If you can only get this high, that's all you're gonna do. 3 sets of 10 reps. Then over time, you're gonna wanna get higher and higher and higher until you're here, legs straight, and you can hold it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 sets of 10 reps. Once you can reach 3 sets of 10 reps with your leg well above your other foot, and you can control on the way up and the way down, it's time to move into more advanced hip flexor exercises. This is just a basic one that you can start at your house that will start hard for anybody. It's gonna be difficult, but over time it'll become much easier, and then you can add weight to it or get a cable at your gym, strap it on your foot and like pull your leg back. There's much more advanced hip flexor exercise that you can find out all the way online. But this is just a basic one you can do to get started. That is still difficult until you learn how to do it properly. For the low back, we're gonna do the Superman. So what you're gonna do here is lay on your stomach, lift up your arms and legs while keeping them locked and straight, and feel the squeeze on your lower back. If that's too hard at the start, you can do a basic version of this where you just do the opposite leg and arm. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. It's a good starting point. Superman down for 3 sets of 10 reps, control and feel the contraction in your lower back. Go ahead and start adding some additional weight. This exercise is super hard under any additive weight. So a simple 2.5 pound little plate or a dumbbell makes the exercise 10 times as hard. So don't trip if you can't add that much weight to it. It's a very hard exercise to add weight to, but that's a good one for the lower back. Doing those progression exercises and doing that with some hamstring stretching will be sure to help your lower back get stronger and more flexible and just feel less pain. Once again, these are just basic exercises you can do anywhere at your house or anything. And eventually, if you get stronger or you're more athletic, you want to load them, but gradually. Don't go jump in, don't go start trying to deadlift or do crazy ab workouts at the start, because that can hurt your lower back if you're not adapted to that type of force yet. So just start easy and then go up and stronger. I hope you enjoyed this, and see you in the next video.